Now we will see what is mean by the convergence and divergence. Now, if limit n tends to infinity, now if limit n tends to infinity, an exists, we say that the sequence converges. That is, if the limit n tends to infinity, that is there in the definition of limit, we say that if there exists L such that after some finite number of terms, all the members of the sequence lies within an epsilon neighborhood of L, then we say that an minus L is less than epsilon, and we write limit n tends to infinity, an is equal to L. That is, if L exists, then we say that the sequence converges. If there some members after some finite number of terms, all the member does not lies in the epsilon neighborhood for given epsilon, then we say that the sequence does not converge. Then the sequence does not. Note that for a sequence to converge, the limit must be finite. Now, if the sequence does not converge, we say that it diverges. Note that the sequence diverges if it approaches to infinity, or if the sequence does not approaches to anything. That is, if for some finite number, so for some terms it will tends to -1, for some finite term it tends to 1, then we say that the sequence does not convergence. Or suppose the sequence, if we take n is equal to n, then it does not tends to any number, it tends to it approaches to infinity as n tends to infinity, and we don't know what is mean by the infinity. It is undefined. So this is about the convergence and divergence of a sequence. Next, diverges to infinity. What it mean by the divergence? If limit n tends to infinity, n is equal to infinity, we mean that for every possible number capital M, there is an integer capital N such that n is greater than m whenever n is greater than m. What is mean by the divergence to infinity? If limit n tends to infinity, an is equal to infinity, we mean that for every positive number m, there is an integer n such that n is greater than m whenever n is greater than capital N. And limit n tends to infinity, an is equal to minus infinity means that for every positive number capital M, there is an integer capital N such that n is less than minus n. That is, there exists a term such that which is less than for given number m. For given number m, then we say that n tends to minus infinity, an tends to minus infinity. And if there exists a number, there exists a term an which is greater than capital N for every m, for every given m, then it is said to be diverges to infinity. Now the limit laws, that is, it satisfies the laws of algebra, that limit n tends to infinity, an plus minus bn is equal to limit n tends to infinity plus minus limit n tends to infinity bn. And also satisfies the scalar property, scalar multiplication property. Yes. Now we will see that what is meant by the infinite series is the summation of all the elements in the sequence. What is meant by the series is the summation of all the elements in the sequence. Remember the difference. Sequence is the collection of numbers. A series is its summation. Sequence is what? The collection of number which we put in some manner. It is called a sequence. And what is meant by the series? Series is its summation. That is summation n tends to summation n runs from 1 to infinity is equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus up to so on. If we add all the terms of a sequence, then it is called as a series. If we add all the terms of a sequence, then it is called as a series. It seems difficult to understand how it is possible that a sum of an infinite number could be finite. Let us see an example. That is, if we have infinite number of terms and we are adding all these infinite number of terms, there some question stuck in mind that is sum will be a finite because we are adding infinite number of terms. So let us see an example. Summation n runs from 1 to infinity. 1 upon 2 to the power n is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 2 cube plus 1 by 2 raised to 4 and so on. So summation n runs from 1 to infinity. 1 upon 2 to the power n is equal to this. Now if you solve this, if you solve this in the next slide or in some further slide, we will see that this summation will be a finite. This summation will be a finite, and this is nothing but a geometric series with common difference 1 by 2. Common difference 1 by 2. So it converges to, I think, 1 by. So let us further, we will see that what is the number that this series will be a converge. So convergence and divergence of a series. We say that an infinite series converges if the sum is finite. Otherwise, we will say that it diverges. And again, we familiar with the concept of convergence. When we say that the convergence, using the definition of limit, which we have used for the sequence. So same concept will be applied to the series also. Same concept will be applied to the series also. To define properly the concept of convergence and divergence, we need to introduce the concept of partial sum. We need to introduce the concept of partial sum. So basically, in the term convergence and divergence for series, which will be similar to the term sequence of convergence and divergence. In the sequence convergence of divergence, in the convergence and divergence of a sequence, we will see that a number L is said to be the limit of the sequence An if infinite number of, after some finite number of terms, all the members lies in the neighborhood of L. Similarly, we will see for the series. So we are obtaining a sequence with the help of series. We are obtaining a sequence with the help of series, and if that sequence will be convergent, then we say that the series is convergent. Now clear? By using the series, we are obtaining a sequence basically called as a sequence of partial sum. And if that sequence of partial sum is convergent, then we say that the sequence is convergent. Otherwise, we will say that the sequence is divergent. Okay, so in order to obtain the convergence and divergence, we are introduce the concept of partial sum. Now, what is mean by the partial sum? Suppose we have an infinite series. Then from that infinite series, we are obtaining only the first n terms, and we are adding that n terms, and then there will be a some number. We will call it as Sn. If we are adding first n plus 1 terms, it is called as Sn plus 1. If we are adding first n plus 2 terms, it is called Sn plus 2. So what is S1? S1 is the first term. What is S2? S2 is the addition of first 2 terms. What is S3? Addition of first 3 terms. What is S4? S4 is addition of first 4 terms. So in this way, we are obtaining S1, S2, S3, S4, and so on. Now, the convergence and divergence of the series will be depends on the convergence and divergence of the sequence Sn. The nth partial sum Sn is a finite sum of the first n terms. Now, summation n runs from 1 to infinity, n converges to S if Sn converges to F, and we write S is equal to summation of n. Okay. So basically, if we clear about this convergence of a sequence, then we will get very easily what is mean by the convergence of series. What is we get? Because what is mean by Sn? Sn is what? Summation of first n terms. Now, if I tending limit as n tends to infinity, it is summation of infinite number of terms. It is summation of infinite number of terms. In this way, we are obtaining the summation of series. In this way, we are obtaining the sum of series. So if the sequence of partial sum diverges, we say that series diverges. Now, some addition and multiplication laws of series. If summation n runs from 1 to infinity an and summation n runs from 1 to infinity bn both convergence, then summation n runs from 1 to infinity an plus minus summation n runs from 1 to infinity bn is equal to summation of an plus minus bn n runs from 1 to infinity. And similar law is applied for the scalar multiplication, as you can see in the PPT. Note that the laws do not apply to the multiplication, division, nor exponent, as which were applicable in the sequence, which will not applicable for the series, which will not applicable for the series. Divergence test. So if summation an does not converges to 0, then summation n runs from 1 to infinity an diverges. What it means? Oh. Suppose we have given a series summation n runs from 1 to infinity an. Now what is an? An is basically a sequence a1, a2, a3, an, so on. Now if the sequence an is converges to 0, then nothing to say. But if the sequence does not converges to 0, then definitely the series will be divergent. So it is a necessary condition to that the series summation an converges, that the sequence must be convergent. So what is its converse? If the sequence an does not converges to 0, it means that the series summation an runs from 1 to infinity is divergent. Note that in many cases we have a sequence that converges to 0, but its sum does not diverges. But its sum does not diverges. So it is only a necessary condition, not sufficient. So it is only a necessary condition, not sufficient. Summation n runs from 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power n. Summation n runs from 1 to infinity 1 upon square root of n. Summation n runs from 1 to infinity 1 by n. Summation n runs from 1 to infinity 1 upon n square, and summation n runs from 1 to infinity sine n. In all this term, in the first term, you will see that the sequence does not converges to 0, so the series divergent. Here, the sequence 1 upon square root of n, the sequence will be converges to 0, but we cannot predict about its convergence. Here we can say, surely say the sequence is divergent. But here, the sequence 1 upon square root of n converges to 0, but we can't say, because this test say that if it converges to 0, we can't say anything. But if the sequence does not converges to 0, then we say that the series is divergent. Here the sequence does not tend to 0. Here again the sequence does not tend to 0, so the series is divergent. Here in these three examples, each of these sequences are convergent to 0, but we cannot predict about the series convergence or divergence. Okay, so this is a necessary condition, not a sufficient. This is again called a null test. Now here we will see a special type of series called as a geometric series. Now suppose summation n runs from 1 to infinity cn into r to the power n is equal to c plus c into r plus c into r square plus c into r cube, and so on. First term multiplied by r, third term multiplied by r, fourth term multiplied by r, fifth term multiplied by r, and so on. Note that in this case we start continuing from 0. Technically it doesn't matter, but we have to be careful because the formula will start always at n equal to 0. So for putting n value of n equal to 0, which is what? Yes, because adding some finite number of terms in the conversion series does not affect. We will see next that by adding and subtracting finite number of terms from the sequence does not affect the convergence of a sequence, does not affect a convergence of a sequence. So geometric series is, now the nth partial sum of the sequence of this series is Sn is equal to summation n runs from 0 to capital N C into r to the power n. So Sn is equal to C plus CR square plus CR cube, and so on, CR to the power n. If we multiply both sides by r, then we get this. If we subtract 2 from 1, we get this. That is Sn is equal to, we get 1 minus r to the power n plus 1 upon 1 minus r. 1 minus r. Now if r is strictly less than 1. Now this r is strictly less than 1. So r to the power n as n tends to infinity tends to 0. Tends to 0. So this tends to 1 upon c into 1 upon 1 minus r. So the series convergent. So in this case, series is convergent. As infinite geometric series is divergent if r is greater than or equal to 1. Otherwise, c upon 1 minus r if mod r is less than 1 is equal to c into r to the power n upon 1 minus r if mod r is less than 1 in first term. Okay. Now these are some examples of the geometric series. These are some examples of the geometric series. Each of term can be solved with the help of this formula. Next, P series. A P series is a series of the form summation 1 upon n to the power p, n runs from 1 to infinity. It is called simply a P series. That is the power series. 1 plus 1 upon 2 to the power p plus 1 upon 3 to the power p plus 1 upon 4 to the power p and so on. Now the convergence of P series is very easy, very easy. Among all the series, convergence of P series is very simple because the P series is convergent for P strictly greater than 1. Whenever P strictly greater than 1, the P series is convergent. And whenever P is equal to 1 or less than or equal to 1, then the series divergent. So, with the help of P series, we have an example that these two examples are there. This is also P series with P is equal to 1. And I had mentioned that if P is equal to 1, then the series is divergent. So this series is divergent, but the limit tends to 0. So I had clear about that. In all these three, we cannot predict about the convergence and divergence with the help of this test. This test is only to tells about the divergent. This test is only tells about divergent, does not tells about the convergence. And divergence is only for that term where the sequence does not converges to 0. Here the sequence converges to 0. So with the help of this test, we cannot predict. But with the help of p-test, the sequence tends to 0. But with the help of p-test, this series diverges. With the help of p-test, n to the power 1 by 2. Again, this sequence is converges to 0. But with the help of p-test, this series is diverges. With the help of this p-test, this series is convergent. This series is convergent because value of p is 2, which is strictly greater than 1. So this series is a convergent series, but these two series are divergent series. Yes, P series. Now these are some examples of a series which may solve, and if you have any difficulties, you can ask me. Now in the next lecture, we will see the comparison test, limit comparison test, their examples, absolute and conditional convergence, ratio test. So all these three points we will discuss in the next lecture. So I will stop here. Thank you. If you have any queries, you can ask me directly. So further in this lecture, we had discussed about the sequence, convergence of sequence, divergence of sequence, foundation of a series, introduction of a series, convergence of series, null test of series, that is a sufficient condition for a series, not sufficient, sorry, necessary condition for a series. Also, we will see that we had seen that a geometric series, its convergence, its limit point. So with these points, we will conclude here. We will see in the next lecture. Thank you.